off the table. Didn't get to see him in the first game, but he has been hitting the Rift and hitting it hard. Shen's the counter ban, and followed up by a Gragas from Gigabyte Marines.
A lot of focus on top lane already between Stark and Pride. Again, 4 bans now thrown towards top side, of course. A couple of flexes coming out as well. Of course, Galio, Gragas, we have seen them in other roles. But as we get further and further through, Camille is still available as a top laner. That Kled that we talked about for Pride is still up there. So it's not like they're hitting Pride's champion pool all that big. Let's see what Stark's been working on.
Well, Gigabyte Marines still have a few seconds. We won't see those top lane picks right away, or at least we shouldn't, is a Kha'Zix ban against QQ more. Now it's back to Isurus for their final ban of the first phase.
Wanting to take away one of those junglers that's looking to farm up to 6. I wonder whether Gigabyte Marines will be looking for that Lee Sin early. Now, Graves goes up in priority because Ivan just got banned. It is available and is one of the stronger junglers that is left available. We saw Levi play a bunch of it at the All-Stars as well. He's not just a Lee Sin player, but that is his standout champion.
And it's very... So far, we have not really seen the Graves make it through picks and bans with the exception of last game. It was all in Group A. They had their own micro meta. We kind of talked about how maybe this was going to be a bit different over in Group B. So far, it's definitely true. We get our Graves.
But now you look for Kindless. Varus has to be a pickup. That is a Nidalee pick. Already
he does it.
Coming from QQ more. So once early game focus, good clear, good emphasis on this early game jungle pathing, and a bit of an adaptation out of Isurus here. I was expecting the Varus to come through. It's his most played champion, but with Ashe available, they want an engage tool coming through here because they don't have one from the jungle themselves.
Yeah, but they have themselves some tools to get ahead nice and early. We'll see what Gigabyte Marines try to answer with. This I've been hovering Kennen for a while.
And I wonder whether Isurus now will look for a pushing bot lane and then look to go aggressive under the tower. Now, okay, the Gigabyte Marines, Kennen picked up. Could be a flex to AD carry, could be up in the top side. If it ends up being AD carry, may struggle getting pushed in by Isurus here because Kennen doesn't have the best wave clear pre-Hurricane. So we're waiting for later on in this draft. I expect Isurus to counter pick top side. The Lulu will offset some of the push power. Will it be answered by the likes of a Karma here out of Isurus?
See if that's what they end up taking. If not, they have a heavy risk of it being banned in the next phase, and still several seconds on the board for Isurus to try and pick up another one. Would make a lot of sense to get their support here. They don't want to reveal the mid or the top.
Mid lane is another option if they go Syndra.
Oh.
I was about to say it because now you get 2 bans. You ban away the Echo. You ban away potentially the Ahri matchup, whether it's something that scales more, like a Rise that we've seen a lot, or maybe you ban away Optimus Orianna that we've seen a couple of times. This now gives Isurus the mid lane matchup that they want. There aren't too many options left for the Gigabyte Marines that are standard within meta play.
Yeah, and they deny the Syndra pick from Optimus, one of his more comfortable champions. Interesting to see what they answer with, but there's still a couple of bans to get through here. 5 seconds ticking for the Gigabyte Marines.
It trades away support priority here. You should see double ban on support here. Karma goes out of the window because now you basically are forcing Isurus to pick support. They've forced himself into it as the first pick of this rotation. Top lane comes last. With LeBlanc off the table as well, you don't want to play that high damage matchup in mid lane. I want to see where Optimus goes with the mid lane pickup as we get further on into this draft.
Yeah, one more ban left for Gigabyte Marines. We should
shortly.
see them banning out. Yeah, this other high tier supports don't want to get themselves poked out too heavily, and it ends up being the Nami actually, so they have been doing their homework.
Of course, we said Zyra, but Nami is the most played support for newbie, so makes a little bit of sense, gives good disengage, good, you know, crowd control coming through to protect Kindless. So will it be the Zyra that comes through as the first pick? It is available. The Lulu does a decent job into it. Caitlyn, if they're putting Kennen up to the top side, is probably the area they'll go to, other than Varus. Those two are the higher priority AD carries that are available. But if this Kennen goes top, then we look to Isurus to their top lane, because they won't go for a tank. And this tells us where we're going. Ziggs goes to the bot lane. Kennen goes to the top lane. Isurus now have to play a carry versus carry matchup in the top side. Otherwise, they basically forfeit top.
All right, we'll see what Pride is going to opt into here after We see what Stark ends up picking, or excuse me, what Optimus ends up picking up for the final one.
Now, of course, it could be a Lulu in the mid lane, but I don't expect it.
Still not sure.
There's
That's the Zillion, though.
So this will be Zillion in the mid lane. Does decently well into Syndra. You apply the ult yourself. You deny her ult, the same principle as Echo. But now Isurus. Kled is a tough matchup into the Kennen. You've got Jace that you could play, but isn't the easiest of matchups itself. That is a very swinging matchup. Gragas is banned. You don't want to play a Nautilus. Could you play the Rumble? You'd get bullied around as well. There is the Jace. I threw out a lot of options. I'm not taking credit for it, just trying to talk through some of that mentality coming into that last pick.
But this feels very risky. You don't have a whole lot of tankiness in this composition. If anybody gets picked on this team, it's going to be hard to really kind of stop the bleeding there. And Gigabyte Marines, I mean, they've got a Lulu, they've got a Zillion, they've got a lot of death denial.
They do. They've also got a lot of decent push out of the Gigabyte Marines when you look at Graves, Ziggs, Lulu, all paired together. But Isurus have Poke, Nidalee, Jace. Ashe has threat of dive presence that comes through with the arrow. The same can be said for Syndra. If somebody stays under the mid tower for too long, or any tower for too long, you get poked down, you get engaged on, and Isurus look to take control of the objective game.
Seems like the lane phase is going to be very telling for this matchup, the way things are playing out. We talked about individual matchups, individual strengths, but coordination will definitely be tested in this matchup between the Gigabyte Marines and Isurus Gaming. Interesting compositions. We get more of them. It's nice to see a Ziggs bottom lane, as always. It'll probably be a very quick clear of the tower, unless somebody gets a dive on. We'll find out as we're loading up onto the Rift. I want to know from you guys at home who you think is going to walk away with this one. Will it be the SEA representatives, the Gigabyte Marines? If you think so, hashtag GAM win over at LoL Esports. Once again, and representatives from LATAM South, it is Isurus Gaming, hashtag ISG win. Pokecomp versus Death Denial, and a whole hell of a lot of push. It's going to be pretty back and forth, I think.
A whole lot of support, of top lane and support bans that came through in this draft as well. And it's ended up with a Kennen, Jace top lane matchup between Stark and Pride. An interesting one. It's not tank versus tank. We're going carry versus carry. Push potential. One kill can easily turn this lane into a dominating presence for either team.
Yes, it can. Crowd cheer goes up as we get ready to rock and roll. From Sao Paulo, wherever you are in the world, this one is going to be a banger, I think. We'll get ready, loading up into the Rift, but this matchup, especially in the top lane, I want to go into it more, Stress, because you talked about carry v carry. No one's holding anything back. This is a comfortable matchup, though, for Stark. That guy loves to play carry champions. I can't wait to see how all in he's going to go, especially if he's got Levi camp in his lane. Levi, excuse me.
Yeah, we'll see if Levi can get up there and help out Stark. I just hope the crowd keeps it up, you know, all the thunder sticks going.
Oh, they do.
Very passionate crowd, as always.
Making a lot of noise, and if you're wondering, a little bit delayed as we have a pause to start the game off, but that just heightens the tension.
It does.
The crowd can keep it going.
This applause isn't for us.
No.
So it feels a little
we
bit
got to earn it, James. It's okay.
This is more like the noise that they'd be making if it was for us. A little bit of a subdued silence, nothing to worry about. But you know, the crowd have been itching to get into like all of these games. Yesterday, when the Red Cannons were playing, it was
that was deafening.
Deafening crowd.
I mean, it's a hometown heroes. You have to give them some serious credit for that one, and they definitely showed up, only dropping that one game against Supermassive. Crowd continues keeping on making that noise, but all the same, you got to have a lot of fans from some more local leagues as well. LATAM North and South, not too far away from where they're playing in Brazil. On the other hand, a little bit farther away, Southeast Asia. Gigabyte Marines had a bit of a longer flight to get there.
Yeah, just a little further, but as we get closer to this game, this is a very different setup to game one of the day. Game one of the day, we saw 1-3-1 setup. A little bit more focus on the Talia, the Rumble on the other side of the Rift. But the Gigabyte Marines looking for a bit more of a fast push when you get the Graves, the Kennen together, the Ziggs. It's been a while since we've seen Ziggs in the bot lane.
Yeah, but that push power cannot be denied. The only way to really deal with it, trying to poke out, trying to keep him from throwing the bombs and the satchel charge on the tower, and it's like that nice.
For Isurus, on the other side, poke, focus, a lot of siege when you've got the Ashe arrow coming through, the Syndra stun.
I mean, it's just a hail of AoE and skill shots that you have to try and two-step away if you're going to be going into those towers and sieging. But if they can get a pick, that starts to kind of unwind really quickly, right? I mean, Jace does have some like straight-up engage potential once he shifts into hammer form, but you don't really have a whole lot of survivability. The Nidalee can get popped really quickly. Like, you kind of need to surprise and really quickly take out a few members if you're on Isurus Gaming right now.
I'm glad it's not Trevor and Martin or Deficio and Quick.
They would be going on this quite heavily.
Martin would be making some
let's not get into that
demands. No.
This is a family broadcast, all right?
This is an important game now. First game of the tournament.
For both these teams, yeah.
For Marines and Isurus, as we are getting ready. As you said, it is a connection issue coming into game one.
Well, sometimes it happens. Yeah, they're going to be switching out. Monitor just getting word that minor tech stuff on stage. But fortunately, the crowd keeps it on going. I mean, these guys just got a lot of the energy. It's a big, important tournament for all the teams involved here because there are only 2 spots available, one from each group to make it into the group stages. It's just the pre-section. It's just the play-in right now. But all these teams, everybody has a good shot at making it in. However, once you make it through this, you face off against the likes of the Flash Wolves, against the likes of TSM. It is going to be a hard climb to try and make it to Rio de Janeiro.
That's an unenviable task, right? You look at 2 teams that TSM and Flash Wolves. I would not want to come out of a group stage right into having to face one of those 2 teams.
All right, we're in.
We're into game.
Yeah. It's a long way away, though, right? Like, there's still a lot of games to play here, and it starts right now for Isurus Gaming and Gigabyte Marines, and there's a 5-stack in this brush. They're going to spot Optimus, and he does a quick 180, heading right back, but Isurus aren't done just yet. Let's see where they end up going here. A couple of wards placed in, but you can see Levi and Stark are actually going to get a little bit of counter wards as well, so this has been matched.
Yeah, it has been, and Stark can get vision down in the top side. It's an old setup at the level 1 that we always saw. As soon as you get information on the bottom side, you put someone in top side.
We've seen a couple of almost sick plays already in the level 1 with the Blitzcrank last game.
No Blitzcrank this game, though. That's for certain. Optimus just checking the bush. Now, to note, Optimus is running that teleport. So that allows him to not only join in fights, but try and push back Emp in this mid lane. Of course, you can recall out, TP back into lane before level 6, push it back. You deny Emp any kind of lane presence. One of Syndra's biggest strengths is typically that you can get a big CS lead, you can bully people around. Well, with the teleport on the other side, as long as Optimus doesn't, misjudge damage and end up dying, he should be fine in this laning phase.
Nice leash there for Levi on the Raptor camp to start things off with the bomb going down a little bit early on. Graves, of course, wanting to get that fast farm up to level 6, and you can see a very different story for the likes of QQ. This Nidalee, a lot of early gank potential. No CC to speak of, but that's a lot of damage for that kitty cat.
And then you have to look at where QQ may end up going. Like if bot lane end up pushing really far up, maybe you end up ganking that Ziggs down in the bottom lane. Of course, yes, okay, he does have the satchel charge, but still not a reliable escape tool.
Yeah, it might be one of the easier lanes to gank when you think about it, because the Zilean has so much ability to denial. Obviously, not quite until he gets level 6 can he stop himself from going down, but he's got a speed boost. He has a lot of wards around there to kind of spot things out. And you can see Levi hovering around. Stark is also going to be able to get away from ganks.
From Levi coming in mid lane. Emp is pushed up here. Now they force him to move out of the lane.
Flash forward, end of the line. He follows through. That's 2 summoners for 1, though. Emp just pops both his Ghost and his Flash at the same moment.
And now it puts Emp in a really tough position in the lane, because you normally want to bully that lane as the Syndra. That's what we were talking about. Well, Optimus now almost has an uncontested laning phase up until level 6 right now, but QQ wants to even this out. Optimus knows he can play on the bottom side. They've already read that QQ will be now on the top side. He plays in the defensive side and should be fine.
Hanging around, okay. Bombs are flying. Optimus is in trouble.
The
flash and the swipe. It's finished by Emp. That's first blood for the Isurus mid laner.
Should be fine doesn't mean he is. Optimus didn't really respect the positioning of QQ. The flash came out. Oh, here's Archie.
Speaking of, Archie just out of nowhere right now finishes it off with the help picks.
Oh, that is an awkward time roam for a Lulu. You'd expect that out of a Thresh. Thresh will come to mid lane around about this time sometimes, but you wouldn't expect Archie to have come out of the lane up to mid lane to put enough focus down onto Emp, but it's a good play out of the Marines.
Yep, Levi is able to even steal away a bit of camps from QQ, and, well, We thought it might have been a Lulu mid. It was, just not all the time.
Yeah, only at the 3-minute 20 mark.
Hey, gets a kill. That's all he needs.
Is able to put a lot of presence on the lane, and there was a TP used by Optimus. You saw it come back into the mid lane, now maintains the CS lead against Emp. 1 kill on the Syndra, though, does kind of put it back in the face.
Yeah, it's definitely going to help out for Emp for a while. However, you can see Levi has no qualms about just camping through this lane. Flash forward for Optimus. He gets the double bomb off, and the line dodging forward. Do they have the damage? They do! Levi takes it to him. Right back in the middle of it. That is 2 deaths already for Emp.
So I'll quote Rusty in the analyst desk from earlier. We think mid lane focus is going to be what Group B is all about. Well, with 3 kills into game 2 of the day, and they were absolutely correct. Everybody has been mid lane. This is a big stack of minions being pushed in. QQ More doesn't want to let this go to waste, so does step in to try and clear it out. But Emp is not having the easiest of games here. On this Syndra, gets counterpicked to some extent by the Zillion. The Marines looking in top form.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier, Optimus had died with his flash up, but he ended up using it to get the kill. Kindless is real low here. And in comes Optimus. Here we go. One auto throws the bombs, forcing the flash and the heal, but he's still gonna get it. Optimus with his first kill of the game.
Optimus has no time to do anything else but throw watches at Kindless. Gets the kill. Newbie died. We didn't even see how that happened. Looked like he was just caught out. Had his flash. Isurus has not had the best start to this game. They get capitalized on in mid lane from a very early gank from Levi. Kindless and Newbie pushed up in the bottom side. We said maybe QQ More could have ended up looking to come bot side, but he was busy dealing with mid lane. 4-1, 6 minutes into the game. This is one of the best starts that the Marines would have been able to hope for.
Yeah. Isurus are definitely put on the back foot for a while, and at least Optimus is sympathizing with QQ More. He picks himself up the tier. But it is Isurus who are trying to start this one off. Let's see if they can turn it back around. Newbie and QQ are on a roaming spree, but Archie's already got a ward in that brush, so he's going to be able to spot them out. Let's take a look at how it all went down by.
Oh, good satchel charge. Onto the slow. Kindless, they already know he's dead, so now they turn their attention to Newbie. And Newbie tried to get the kill. Exhaust came out, and it was just easily red.
Optimus didn't even need that auto attack either.
No, he could have let it tick down, but
nah. All right, let's check in with, a little quieter matchup up in the top side. Pride, TP's back in the lane. And that's going to be followed by Stark. But now that they both just hit 6, they both don't have teleport. It looks like not going to be a whole lot of focus on any other lanes for those guys. They're just kind of stuck in almost a gentleman's agreement for the time being.
Yeah, Stark just TP back up himself. And, I mean, we talked about how that lane maybe was the one that would get snowballed. Nidalee maybe comes up top side. Graves maybe comes
all
up.
Mid lane,
no.
all the time.
Mid lane and bot lane. Now Levi's here. Mindless.
Knocked in once again. He's cut off. Nowhere for him to go. He tries to get a few more shots onto Archie, but Slay does just that.
Zillion's here again.
Optimus once again. One bomb, not connecting on the second. He's taking tower shots, but he has got himself nice and safe. Picks up the kill off the back, but Archie goes down to the tower at the end of it all. Not the cleanest dive, but they get 2 for 1.
No, this game has already been blown wide open. QQ More wants to go on Stark here. Slicing Maelstrom not available.
Does have the lightning rush. QQ More wants to chase him down here. Oh, can he get the finisher just yet? No. Stacking. One more shot, he would have been able to get stunned up and didn't want to take that risk right now. Stark is backed off. This is going to prompt Isurus Gaming to be able to push in the top side, but unfortunately, you can't race the Ziggs to first tower.
No, you absolutely can't. Gets that empowered W, blows up the tower, nothing really left to fight for. Isurus, I like the fact they bring Emp up here though. Trying to push up, trying to get anything back in their favor for Isurus here. It's not going their way in a lot of ways in this game so far, Pyro.
Yep, not even having the blast cone coordination. Isurus is definitely facing an uphill battle, and the Gigabyte Marines, more experience, more veteran players on this side, at least when it comes to big international stages. However, Isurus Gaming, they're not out of it yet. It's still very early in the game. There's still a lot of chances for them, but they're going to have to slow down Optimus. They're going to have to stop Slay, and they're going to have to keep Levi from diving into them constantly.
I think the difficulty now, though, is Isurus don't have too many play patterns that benefit them, because Optimus has TP, he can clear out the bot side, can join in mid if he's needed. Same for Stark. TP not available, but the summoner of choice is already there for the top lane, and you can see Isurus need to get both farm onto Emp, Kindless, and Pride. They need to get gold from somewhere to try and recount this loss, but Pride could end up getting caught out if Levi comes bot lane and puts the pressure on here. If they leave mid lane for too long, Ziggs will just take that tower very quickly. And the fact that it's a Mountain Drake that comes in with this fast pushing composition out of the Gigabyte Marines makes it real difficult for Isurus to try and stem the bleeding of these objectives.
Yeah, this is going to be siege all over. So just shy of 10 minutes into the game, it's a big advantage for Gigabyte Marines. They have themselves 2,000 up in gold. They have the first Mountain Drake. And even with the swap up top, Kindless and Newbie aren't able to push the wave fast enough.
But the thing is, this is where Kindless and Newbie are almost in the wrong place here, because they can't push top out. They can't extend that far in the lane, and it means there's not enough people in mid lane to defend, so either QQ more has to play more around mid, or Kindless and Newbie now have to trek through the jungle, try to come to bot side, and nobody is collecting the next wave of minions to experience, because it's not a safe spot to be in. So for Isurus, it's difficult to try and move lane to lane against a fast pushing composition, because Ziggs will clear it out from a distance. You've got double TP on the other side. Isurus have to play off 2 lanes when Gigabyte Marines can play on 3.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. Those numbers definitely don't favor Isurus Gaming for the time being. Gigabyte Marines pushing up towards the top side out. And Stark doesn't have a tower to fall back to, but he's perfectly happy because he's got Levi, and now you got
massive oversight. This is what Gigabyte Marines needed. They needed time on this mid tower, and look, they've seen Kindless top. The arrow, okay, it hits. Zillion ult comes through.
Can they take him down? Scout of the week, but Zillion ult's still on. They're trying to hesitate for just a second, and they can't quite do it. He's going to come back up. But will he live through it all? Satchel charge is not going to be enough. Emp manages to grab himself a kill, and in goes Optimus. Onto Archie, flashing away. Bombs on to keep him stunned up. Spear's going to get dodged out, but all of a sudden, Isurus Gaming, they're looking to charge down mid lane.
Great arrow from Kindless. Hits from the top lane into the mid lane. The tower still goes in favor of Gigabyte Marines, but that went a lot better for Isurus than maybe it should have. Now Pride, in a lot of trouble.
Picks up the bomb and the blast cone. Boom! Nicely done. Optimus, 3 kills on the game for this guy. He doesn't miss with those explosives. Slay's not looking too shabby either, so the carries of the Gigabyte Marines are looking good. And meanwhile, it's time to push the second-tier turret. Kindless can't stop the bleeding here.
It certainly looks like in this game, if I was an investment broker, I'd be putting everything in Stark Industries.
Oh, apparently that's the right strategy right now.
Stark not anymore.
Dump it,
crashed,
dump it.
It crashed. Sell.
They still managed to get Newbie, though. I mean, this is what we talked about at the beginning. It's such a squishy comp. They find anybody, they can take him down. Unfortunately, Stark thought he had more backup than he did.
I mean, turns out the Avengers weren't in town at this point. This is actually Iron Man 4.
No, but they do have an Autobot in the mid lane, so that's fine. Archie's gone down. QQ more. This has gone a little haywire, Stress.
This game has gone crazy at this point. We're 11 minutes in, 12 minutes as we take over, and 8 kills to 5 on the board. Gigabyte Marines very heavily focused on this tower push with the Ziggs. We expected that to come through. Maybe a little heavy-handed onto the top lane tower, where they're like, okay, we'll push them inner, and we'll try and keep going. Well, Isurus did react in time.
Yeah, I mean, it really seems like a lot of these players are trying to make the highlight reel, which I suppose when it comes down to Levi and Optimus, that's a bit to be expected, but Stark was kind of buying into it as well, and as a result, unfortunately kind of paid the price. All that being said, the item spikes are starting to come through for these teams. Stark has himself play the Rune King. You see the Morellonomicon on not just Optimus, but also Slay. So, and the tier's stacking up. I mean, this is looking good for Gigabyte Marines across the board. The problem is, if they still get caught and bopped, that's a chance for Isurus to start pushing towers.
It is. Small win goes over to Newbie. Got that Rift Scuttler. It's not a dragon, but...
No, but it could let you get the dragon.
Or
the Baron, you know, several minutes down the line. You have to get a few more of that before you get the vision of it. But objective control has definitely been going the way of Gigabyte Marines for a while, even if they have been pushing their luck a little bit. Isurus is really trying to take down this mid. The problem is Slay's sitting in the mid lane. And, well... good luck pushing against Ziggs.
Yeah, and also good luck when the Ziggs ult is back available again. Now they've got to deal with Stark, who's going to push out the top side. Emp can't really take that trade. To some extent can, but it's not one you want to be in for a long time. If Emp doesn't land a stun, it's tough to get that kill. All-in potential for Emp. If he surprises Stark, will be able to get the kill.
He's coming in, throws the ball. It's going to get dodged. Scout of the week. Nope. Stark is going in for the return. There we go. Nothing's going to come of it. Newbie was heading up. towards that top side. But meanwhile, once again, the oversight, they're
it's
not watching the mid turret.
Yeah, again, they commit over to the top side to try and deny the push. And now Gigabyte Marines move in. Levi's here.
Oh boy, Levi, he might have not wanted to go as far in as he did, but the scout of the weekend, the ultimate unleashed power, is enough to almost take him down before Zillion gets to the party. Meanwhile, though, Newbie had gone down to the big Ziggs bomb.
Oh,
Here comes Pride, takes the hammer to Levi, and QQmore is going to swipe down Stark, looking for more. Slay and Optimus, Satchel Charge pushes him back, but still, this is a chance for Isurus Gaming to get some back in the books. Slay's going to keep them off it for now.
Yeah, Slay now just needs to throw out a little bit of wave clear just to hold through. It's enough for now. But that mid tower is under threat. He can't clear the minions out from underneath. It doesn't have the ultimate available. Bouncing bomb isn't quite enough, not quite strong enough. Good response out of Isurus. They collapse on the Gigabyte Marines, and this game, the next dragon is going to only accelerate this one through. We've got an Infernal Drake. We've had a mountain for the tower pushing. Well, we'll see whether Isurus can get this, end up being able to close the game, because QQmore 3-0-2 on this Nidalee. That's some devastating poke that's going to start coming through.
Yeah, and not to mention, he does have a lot of collapse potential. This is exactly what you need to do on a Nidalee in the early stages of the game. They're going to be relying quite a lot on their jungler to try and help them build up some of these leads. Like, the skirmishes is still very effective. We don't talk about Nidalee as like a team fighting champion, but skirmishing when you have a numbers advantage? Why the hell not?
We don't talk about Nidalee as a team fighting champion for good reason. Not the best team fighting champion in a 5v5. However, as you said, split up. A lot better off in this one, and to some extent the Gigabyte Marines will be more split up. They have the double teleport, which means at the end of fights they'll be fine, but this time Stark loses a third of his health on this initial exchange.
Oh, that is nasty. Can he finish him off before the slicing down finishes? He can! Pride in the 1v1.
Yeah, Pride lands that first Q, is able to get right onto him. More damage comes through.
Ashero's going to nail Slay, and that is still going to mean Levi is going to get the last smite shot off on to the Dragon. QQmore trying to go in and get a kill picked up of his own, but at the end of the day, Gigabyte Marines secure the objective. Tense one, though, and Pride is uncontested on top side while Stark is still respawning.
This has been a really fun game already. We're only 16 minutes in. Now Gigabyte Marines going to TP up there. I believe it's Stark. No, it's Optimus. Double TP is available, so you've always got to guess they were both sat on Fountain. But
Optimus clears the wave pretty fast.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk it? Kindless and Newbie down on bottom side. You can see, though, that Isurus Gaming is not letting up pressure on side lanes anymore. This is nice to see when you're up against the Ziggs. They've given up all their outer towers and one inner, but now that it's harder for Gigabyte Marines to get any more of those towers as far back as they are, this is opening up the map a little bit for Isurus.
Exactly. The picks have slowed the game somewhat in favor of Isurus, because if Gigabyte Marines are constantly getting 3 people in front of a tower, that's when they can take over, but they put focus on the Infernal Drake. Now clear out some of the wave behind that tower, but I mean, that tower had gone anyway. There was no way that Slay was clearing out that wave to stop the tower going down.
So as it stands, Isurus are able to knock down the last outer of themselves, and it's still a very close game. I mean, it's 500 gold difference, and we've had more kills than minutes. Pride's in trouble, though. Let's see if he can get out of this one. He does get a shock blast on to Levi, who keeps on chasing him down, reloads the shotgun. Flash. Levi's not going to follow it.
Thought about it for a second.
You just see that hesitation just for a brief moment.
Yep. Thought about getting in there. Thought about going over the wall. 3 control wards already out around this Rift Herald for the Gigabyte Marines. I don't think they're going to put that much focus on it. It does help Stark if they can pick that up, but it doesn't necessarily make or break the game for the Gigabyte Marines. They are much more focused on the towers, trying to some extent group up around towers, maybe even put their attention towards that Infernal Drake that comes up in a good few minutes.
We've got another one, though. I mean, we wanted an action-heavy game, and not only did we get it, but the Dragons are going to help this whole situation out, too, right? Like, none of those Ocean Drakes. We don't want any regen in here. We want damage. Champion structures, doesn't matter what, just give us damage.
Stark, on the other hand, wants to reduce damage. Ninja Tabbies have come out, trying to rock, paper, scissors Pride here. Pride goes for the Merc Treads to reduce the stun duration. Stark goes, okay, I'm just going to try and reduce all of your damage.
Few more caught. Ooh, collateral's not enough. That was close. Uh-oh. Hops out in time. Dodging bombs. QQmore stepping up on that one. So that ultimate will be down for Slay for a little while here, and also for Levi. 18 minutes on the clock. Everyone's focusing on mid lane. Kikimore's actually gotten back up on the health bar, too. He does have the heal. Ooh. That spear was a pixel away.
Yeah, very, very close on stealing that red buff. Would have been a nice little win for Kikimo, but it's not much. But look at the grouping from Isurus now coming down through the bottom side jungle. They can clear out the vision control. They know they've got the likes of Hawkshot, the arrow coming from Kindless to be able to maybe set up a dive here on Stark. He does have slicing Maelstrom. The rest of the team is around him, but mid lane and top lane, you can see there's still 2 members of Gigabyte Marines there. This is Isurus sieging the tower. Yeah,
they managed to poke off Gigabyte Marines, and even with the Ziggs there clearing the waves, doing a lot of damage, Emp manages to get a stun off onto Slay as he joins the fray down bot, but look at what's happening with the rest of the Gigabyte Marines. They're on mid, they're on top.
Yeah, that was the poke threat that was coming through that opened that tower up. TP comes through to deny Levi the tower push. I don't think he realizes Optimus is here. That was a great stun.
Right on top of him, yeah, just enough. And Levi's even gonna tag his way in to get the kill. Goes down with the Zillion ult on, and that's gonna be tower for Gigabyte Marines. Hell of a play there.
Oh, Optimus. He knew exactly how to play that with Levi. He says, Levi, you bait. As he jumps on you, as he goes to the skies, double bomb, stuns him in place. They had the Zillion ultimate. Levi didn't even need to flash out of the tower or anything like that. Pride gets baited right in. The tower goes down. Gigabyte Marines are in the head of Pride after that one.
Having definitely a good time in those individual plays. A little bit of teamwork does go a long way, though, and Levi and Optimus are no strangers to it. So they get themselves ahead in the kill counter. They've been ahead in the gold counter. Isurus, though, are not as far behind as you could have expected from the way the game started off. Remember, they were on the back foot. It was 4-1 in kills for a while. But as we've gone further and further in this game, they've been finding picks back. We'll see if they're able to keep doing it.
This has been a very back-and-forth trade-heavy game now. Those 2 Drakes that have come through.
No one saw that.
Marines. Yeah, it's okay. Look, he just wanted to stack the tier a little bit more.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Had to throw out a couple more
deliberate.
cues. Just gonna say the 2 Drakes that are coming through for the Gigabyte Marines, I'll be pretty happy with for now. Another Infernal in 50 seconds coming up. But of course, Baron is always a looming threat. You look at the likes of Pride, of QQ Kindless, like the 3 of them will deal with Baron quite quickly if left unattended. So
it's true.
Always got to keep that into account when looking at those Drakes once we pass the 20-minute mark.
But there is the Mountain Dragon on Gigabyte Marines, and they're not shy for damage, even if it's not best for taking out the Baron. I doubt we'll see any fast take attempts on that side, but the Dragon might be another story. 15 seconds till that one's up, but look at where Pride is right now. He's still relentlessly pushing in the bottom side, and Stark's not quite there.
Well, the reason Stark isn't quite there is because without a bot in a tower, Stark was putting himself in position where he could either move to Baron or move to bot lane, depending on where he was needed. He didn't want to have to teleport through.
Pride's got out.
However, the rest of the team are grouping. Look at where Isurus are. They've already forced the teleport out of Optimus.
And Stark flashes forward, keeps on throwing the shurikens, gets the stun, Scout of the Week, and Stark is going to claim the kill. Isurus a little slower to get there now, and it's a 5v4 for Gigabyte Marines in this bottom side.
Yep, Isurus couldn't quite close in fast enough. That was a spear thrown out onto the Dragon. This is risky. You don't have enough to really take this as not a 50-50 flash over.
Levi, can he get the steal? No, he fights too early. And QQ gets the final shot, but now Gigabyte Marines trying to take the fight here. Bombs covering the escape, blast cones. And Isurus, they get out with only losing Kindless. That's a trade you have to think you're happy with at this stage of the game.
Well, they lost Pride before. Now Kindless is down for 26 seconds. Is that a Baron attempt that comes out from the Gigabyte Marines here? Yes, it's against Poke. There's a lot here, but the Gigabyte Marines still have the numbers advantage.
Isurus, we're not expecting that mid-siege. However, it's going to be Slay going down. Emp's able to take him out. Archie had already gotten the Zillion ultimate on.
Optimus thought that ult was hitting the Lulu, and it was actually coming towards Slay. Saw the animation start and thought he had it saved.
Fine games go both ways sometimes. Stress now. Levi stepping forward is going to have to dodge away from the spear. Just a few pixels and he would have been nailed by it. Slay's down for still 19 seconds. Stark pushing on the bottom side. But Gigabyte Marines can't get anything off the back of it. Here's the Dragon that started it all.
So this was fast enough that Isurus thought they could take it, but look, they split their focus. The smite comes down from Levi. No smite even used on QQ side of things. Optimus didn't even need to see where that explosion went off. And then the unfortunate Zillion ult that followed.
Yep. Well, you can't get him 100% of the time. Optimus has been pretty solid on saving the lives of his teammates this game. But unfortunately, when you have 2 low health members, you have to choose. Sometimes you make the wrong choice.
Don't have favorites. Like,
I mean, personally, I would save the guy that does more damage, but hey.
yeah. But what if you're saving the guy that can save the guy that does more damage?
I think you're thinking too deep. And I don't actually know if Archie had his ultimate up and available in that one to keep himself alive, but all the same, ended up being one more kill. It's been very hectic. It's hard to track every single thing that goes down in some of these situations. Isris have been taking it to Gigabyte Marines after the start of things as the arrow goes a little bit wide. You can see they're stacked towards the Baron pit, but Pride on the bottom side, he has his TP up and available. Scuttle Crab was tanking up pretty much everything, but he goes down in the end.
I mean, that arrow does a couple of things there. Yes, it's a miss as the first thing, so you don't add it to the accuracy tally, but it means that Gigabyte Marines have to step back away from the entrance to the jungle. Allows them to clear it out. Optimus ulted himself on that one.
That's Wild Growth
Archie
and
used it,
Chrono
yeah.
Shift down, though. There's a bit of a window for Isris now.
In exchange for just Emp's ultimate coming through, so not bad trade on that one.
All right, so we have a rare moment of relative silence in this game. It has been so action-packed. Skirmishes all over the map, everyone teleporting in to try and save the day. But Baron is definitely the objective du jour. Everybody wants to grab the big purple worm right now to be able to push down the side lanes. But who's going to win when it comes down to these big 5v5 fights? That's the question.
Well, it depends whether Emp gets that ult onto Slay again, or like even Stark. Stark, if you can catch him out. Stark is going to go towards the Reckless build of Frozen Mallet by the looks of things coming through. But, I mean, Isris have managed to really slow down this tower pushing composition out of the Gigabyte Marines. Now, it doesn't necessarily lose its bite later on, but the opportunities to siege are a lot fewer and further between. It's more difficult to step up towards an inhibitor tower and in a tower this late in the game, because if you don't control the vision on the way there, you get caught. You lose somebody, and then your composition loses all sense of composure.
And when you're looking at the damage that Isris are bringing out, too, it's quite easy for someone to get bursted down. And, well, fortunately for the Gigabyte Marines, they do have both those crucial life-saving ultimates back up and available. We don't have to necessarily kill someone to try and force them off an objective, right? Like, that's how poke comp works. You don't have to get the kills 100% of the time, as the double bombs are inches away from QQ more, dodges them out. Now, it has been Ward Wars. We'll see if it turns into a little bit more than that. QQ more sending a spear flying as he fades away. Popping back from Levi. Still on a clear mission.
Yeah, and, you know, the Marines just setting up as many control wards, clearing out with the sweepers. They know that they got the push on the bottom side for now for Stark, but Stark isn't about to take that tower in the bottom lane. I don't think he can really afford to take head-on trades with Pride that effectively. This is just kind of ping-ponging back and forth in the bot lane.
As a result, we have that standstill for a little while, and it's also pretty critical that Isris got that Dragon. If that had gone the way of Gigabyte Marines, that is a huge amount of AD and AP percentage that you have on top of what you're already bringing in terms of this damage composition. So Isris have to be pretty happy with the fact that they've been able to keep pace with this team for a while.
Yeah. What a strange cadence to this game. Gigabyte Marines get a bunch of kills early on, Isris fire back with some themselves, and now we're drawn into somewhat of a stalemate between these two. Stark looking for the flank. He has 4 members that he can look to slicing Maelstrom here when the fight starts.
All of a sudden the action goes back up. He's got a 3-man stun, 4 you said, and there goes the boom! Stark is going to get 1 kill onto Kylan's, a double kill now onto Newbie. The bot lane's melted. QQ tries to go in for a hero mission, but that's the triple kill for the Kennen. Levi chasing off Emp, and you gotta think that's Baron.
3 kills with nothing in response yet for Isris. They have a lot of poke around this Baron, so Pride can look to maybe take out Levi from long range. That's a good shock blast to start it off. Puts fear into the Gigabyte Marines' Baron attempt. Can they look to steal this?
Throws the Krug in, why the hell not? This is gonna be close,
coming in.
Cannot get the smite steal off. Slay's going low. Pride looking for it around the side. No, it's gonna be smited down. Pride just couldn't find an angle, and at the same time, every member of the Gigabyte Marines, they get in, they get the objective, and it's time to get out.
Emp died by the looks of it to Archie, so this is how the fight started on the bottom side. They were forced back towards the tri-bush, and who comes out of the bush? It's Stark. triple stun to start, ends up locking down everybody in the end of it. And the Gigabyte Marines, this was a perfect flank coming through from this cannon. This build with the Blade of the Ruined King, the Hurricane, is more built for team fighting than necessarily side lane until the Frozen Mallet is completed. And that was a beautiful team fight that comes through from the Marines.
Yep, now Isris are going to try to grab a little bit back. The collateral damage, they get the smite, and the last shot is newbies as they pick up a Mountain Dragon. So they are even on Dragons, but the gold lead swung pretty huge for Gigabyte Marines back there. And now they are charging on multiple lanes. Isris, they're going to have to rely on those Dragons they've managed to take away by inches to stay alive in this game.
Yeah, Baron goes in favor of the Gigabyte Marines, now looking to push up, utilizing that TP available on the Zillion, but Optimus is out there on his own here, does have ultimate available, and backs away because he's giving a lot of respect over to Isris, knows that he could get caught out here, needs to buy extra time, but look at it, stuck, no TP down on the bottom side. This is where they're going to attack.
All right, here's QQ more waiting in the wings. Shock Blast comes in, thins the wave a little
bit. They've got him stuck.
There we go, right he goes. He gets a double stun off. However, if he can stay alive, that would be something. Pride gets the shutdown, and he's able to limp away. Acceleration Gate, how fast can he run? Optimus is charging down for him, chasing him away from his own base, throws the bomb, it's flashed away. He joins up Rendezvous with QQ more, and is he going to be able to make his escape? Jace with Secret Agent mission.
Archie got caught there as well. Redemption comes through, it's enough to heal him up, but now Archie is pincered in. Or who's pincering who? Here come the Marines, back for QQ more. This is a ridiculous trade.
Nowhere for the Nidalee to go, unfortunately, and Slay is able to take him down. Pride does manage to sneak out, lives to tell the tale. Meanwhile, Isris were preoccupied wave clearing in the mid lane, and that was wacky.
Kindless, Emp, and Newbie just said, nah, we're not going to try and save you. We're going to push back our waves in top and mid, deny any push attempt with the Baron, soak up more time. But the problem is the Marines down on the bottom side now will get one tower for it. There's no real way of stopping them. And if this is a big enough wave stacked up, remember that Ziggs eats through turrets that get towards low health. They could very well push in again, but the minions are running out. There's only one wave behind them, and it'll likely be the last wave with the Baron buff, unless Levi is running that runic affinity.
They have so much damage with this Ziggs, able to push down the tower, but they can't quite get the angle they need. And there's some low health bars here. Newbie does get caught out. Collateral damage is burned, but it's only half healthing his health bar. And Pride, he's just stoned away by the Ziggs ultimate. Satchel Charge only used on the back half of it, and now they've managed to break open the base of Isris. Let's see, crunch time. The LATAM South team, can they keep their base alive?
At this point, it's a difficult ask. Now, the Ziggs not quite as good at just instantly taking out arrow. To start, got caught by that arrow.
He does manage to get himself QSS out of there, a little bit on the late on the draw, but he is nice and safe. This is still hard, though. There's so much tower-wrecking damage on this Gigabyte Marine squad. Isris just can't react fast.
Yeah, Isris will be saying, thank God that Satchel Charge passive doesn't work on inhibs. They at least have to take that a little slower. But they have hemorrhaged towers throughout this game, have Isris. They've lost 7 already. And Baron has just expired. Elder is on the cards a little bit later on as well. But it's been a very back and forth game between both of these teams. Tower push in favor of the Gigabyte Marines, utilizing the Ziggs, the Zillion. The poke has really been strong out of Isris. But I feel like they've left a few of their members out to dry a few times in this game.
That's definitely true. And it's kind of resulted in a lot of that back and forth, the skirmishes. Isris have been able to find a few things back, and even if they've given up a lot more deaths themselves, they're still not lacking for damage, and there's not the most survivability on every member of Gigabyte Marines. You look at the Frozen Mallet, that's like your big defensive item, that and the Ninja Tabby for Stark. You see the Locket built by Archie, and after that, there's not a whole lot else. So these are some squishy members both sides around. It really comes down to how well Optimus and Archie are able to utilize their ultimates.
Yeah, very true. And if they do manage to weather the storm through that Syndra damage, then I'm not saying Isris lack for damage other than Syndra, but outside of that ultimate, it's a little bit more of a prolonged fight that has to come through. And if the spears don't land, the shock blast don't land, the arrow, if it doesn't land, oh, Slay's already dead! Emp killed him!
All of a sudden, that was right now quick, and It's a 4v5. Gigabyte Marines, they gotta be shaking their heads at what the hell just happened.
Optimus ult and
Wait,
Anti's
Kindness!
ult is up. Kindness is dead.
Levi just flashes into even those odds right now. It's a 4v4 with no AD carries, no bot laners, I should say, left on the map right now. However, there's a stream of minions in this bottom side. Stark leading the charge. Isris have to react nice and quickly, but can they save their base? Stark is going in. He's got his ultimate on, but it's not going to get the stun up just a second. Here we go. Optimus Archie taking a little bit low, but the redemption was there. Pride trying to push back Stark on an all. Levi is able to take down Newbie in the back half of it, and QQmore goes in. He has to go golden because he was exhausted down. Emp's going to get taken out for a double by Stark. Gigabyte Marines, they're running through this base. They're just going to go for it.
It's only QQmore alive. This has been a very extended fight. The Gigabyte Marines going to stop QQmore from cutting the wave behind them. Stark's going to run him down. Looks like they want to end this game.
Stun up. It stops him for a moment. He's able to heal, but it looks like it's just a game of cat and mouse in reverse, I should say, as Gigabyte Marines look to finish off the final tower. Kindless all the way back to Fountain trying to snipe, but he's taken out for the ace. That's going to be the game. 23 kills, and the Gigabyte Marines flexing their muscles.
That was less cat and mouse. Looked more like Meowth getting dealt by Pikachu in most of the episodes on that one. Gigabyte Marines, they start this game with a mid lane gank, and I don't want to say never look back, but the Gigabyte Marines continue to take the pressure to Isserus, try to get as many towers as they could with this Ziggs. It's been a while since you and I have casted a game with the Ziggs bot lane, but this time works out very well for the Gigabyte Marines.
Yeah, it's funny you say never look back, because I honestly think a lot of these teams would have benefited from looking behind themselves. There were a lot of flanks this game. All the same, Gigabyte Marines, they were the more powerful team, and even though Isserus was able to find openings, was able to punish them time and again,